Somehow, 16 years ago, two babies are accidentally switched at birth at a hospital bed. Today, Nagi Yumino is set to meet his biological parents for the first time. On his way there, Nagi sees a girl, Erika Amano, looking like she's about to jump from a bridge and pulls her back. She explains she was recording a video for Inusta, on which she is an internet celebrity, to antagonize her wealthy parents into letting her out of an arranged marriage. After the incident, the two get talking and she wants Nagi to pretend to be her boyfriend. He refuses, so instead, she blackmails him into pretending to be her boyfriend. Erika then brings him shopping for new clothes so they could take pictures together with matching outfits to try and fool her parents. While out in public, several of Erika's fans notice the two together and attempt to beat him up for being her boyfriend. Nagi claps them instead 1v3, revealing that his adopted parents are actually former delinquents, so he knows how to fight. The fighting inspires Erika, so she decides to simply punch her fiance instead of blackmailing Nagi. She leaves while jokingly saying it's too bad he's not her fiance. Now late, Nagi rushes to the meeting with his adopted and biological parent to explain that since they don't want to lose the children they have already raised, they instead want them to marry. Enter Erika, who is revealed as the baby with whom Nagi was switched with. Now, she's his official fiance. She then follows through on her decision earlier and still punches him. The next day, Nagi returns to school and meets Hiro Sagawa, his academic rival and crush, whom he has decided to only confess to once he has beaten her exam scores, as she once told him she would only date a man smarter than herself. Nagi is surprised to hear that Erika wants to visit his home. Once they are alone, he plans to let her know that he's fully committed to someone else. Due to her wealthy upbringing, Erika is completely out of touch with normal life and struggles to believe Nagi's entire family lives in such a small house. She then invites Nagi to her family home, a giant mansion, while also revealing they own 6 similar vacation homes throughout Japan and other countries. After being shown around, Nagi begins to have serious doubts a marriage between them could work and decides he needs to call their engagement off. But before he is able to tell her, she suddenly rejects him first and reveals that she came over to tell his parents what's on her mind. At their restaurant, Nagi's parents fawn over Erika and Nagi panics while Erika visibly becomes more upset. When they insist Erika meet Sachi, her biological sister, she abruptly leaves crying. Nagi then chases after her, where she reveals that his parents are so kind that she couldn't stand to disappoint them by ending the engagement. After reassuring her, the two head back to the family restaurant to have dinner with everyone, but Sachi does not join in. Meanwhile, Sachi covertly adds Erika's chopsticks to their family utensil jug, suggesting she actually liked Erika. When walking her home, Nagi meets her father, also his biological father, who is confident that despite their unusual meeting, they will do well as a married couple. So confident in fact, that to prove it, he has brought them to a house where he insists they live there together for 2 weeks. Sheesh! The two decide to set some boundaries and agree that they won't get involved with each other. With no interruptions, Nagi decides to spend the 2 weeks studying for his next exam to defeat Hiro. Later that night, he hears Erika scream and barges into the bathroom, finding her completely undressed, having been startled by a harmless lizard. Unfortunately, he also freaks out. Without a charger for his phone, Nagi is forced to borrow Erika's study materials in exchange for taking pictures for social media. By accident, they take several pictures that make them look like a real couple, and Nagi then explains he's obsessed with studying so he can help his family out, whereas Erika wants to get famous on the internet, hoping that someone she has been looking for all this time will contact her. At the school, Nagi discovers he has actually defeated Hiro in the pre-exam tests, and Hiro then asks to meet him alone. He expects her to confess now that he's proven he's intelligent enough for her. But instead, she declares she only lost due to missing the exam because of a family funeral. She also says she'll beat him, not only on the next exam, but also in every other school activity from now on. Her competitiveness makes Nagi admire her even more. He then catches a cold and Erika shows up in a nurse cosplay, wanting to take care of him, but he refuses. Eventually, he passes out still trying to study. Erika then gets her chance to look after him and admits his devotion to studying has impressed her. This surprises him as everyone else keeps telling him that he studies too much. On the other hand, Hiro is shown to be pushing herself to the limits so she can beat Nagi. Everyone is shocked once the exam scores are released as Nagi ranks first in the class. The two once again meet on the school rooftop, where Hiro asks Nagi why he was so intense on beating her. He explains that he wanted to confess to her since he knows about her liking guys smarter than herself. She then reminds him that this was the only time he has ever beaten her, whereas she has already beaten him 10 times. Sadly, she also reveals that she's already engaged. While busy thinking about what just happened, Erika enters his room and reminds him that this is their last night living together. Although admittedly they had a fun time, they agree to tell their parents they hated the experience. However, upon arriving back home, Nagi learns his family has moved into a hotel after a pipe has bursted in their home, forcing him to continue unknowingly living with Erika. Sachi is then upset that Nagi won't be coming home and decides to visit the two to meet her real sister. Erika panics, having learned that Sachi is coming over, as Sachi is technically her real sister. The initial meeting is awkward as hell, so to break the ice, Nagi insists they cook dinner together. Erika ends up trying to slice up some cabbage, but she has never cooked and is ignorant of the basics. Meanwhile, Sachi is unfamiliar with the expensive gadgets in Erika's kitchen, so in the end, Nagi ends up doing all the cooking. During dinner, he points out that Erika and Sachi are actually quite alike, so Erika ends up having Sachi try out some of her dresses for her to keep. The two end up bonding together and Erika lets Sachi know that she and Nagi have no intention of going through with the marriage. Sachi then beats up Nagi for making a joke about her new doll-like look, but before she leaves, he takes a picture of the two having fun together. If you got this far, leave some love. The next day, Nagi wants to skip school because of what happened between him and Hiro, but Erika forces him to go. So he attempts to avoid Hiro at school, but she surprises him at the library asking to study together, ultimately giving hope she prefers him over her fiancé. Nagi is then unable to focus with Hiro around, so he excuses himself to gather some composure but falls over trying to get up. All his books come flying out, where she notices his shrine stamp book, which she happens to also collect. She gushes over a special stamp and the two decide to compete over collecting the most stamps. At the end of the session, she asks if they can study together every morning, which puts him into a dreamlike state. Later, Erika somehow transfers into his class, explaining she accidentally uploaded one of their fake couple pictures to the internet, causing her to get in trouble. Her all-girls school demanded she attend a disciplinary meeting, but she skipped it due to caring for Nagi during his cold on that day. So, her father transferred her to Nagi's school. She also forbids Nagi from telling anyone at the school that they are engaged. Inside their classroom, due to her being famous, students are afraid to get near her, so instead they crowd around her. Eventually, class rep Hiro approaches her and shows Erika around the school. But Nagi is terrified of what might happen if his fiancé and his crush become close friends. While still stalking the two, he witnesses Hiro start to cry and assumes that Erika might have accidentally said something. So he chooses to finally step in to try and explain that whatever she must have said to make her cry, she didn't really mean it since she's actually a good person. Turns out, she actually was weeping with joy to the fact that she's actually a big fangirl. Hiro then becomes suspicious of the two knowing each other, but they deflect it by acting like he's also a fan. When walking home, Hiro invites Erika to attend her early morning study sessions with Nagi to help her catch up. At home, Nagi admits he confessed to Hiro, which did not go according to plan, so Erika decides to be his wingman. They head to school and accidentally arrive at the same time. Hiro then confronts the two about how close they seem as they were caught by her fighting at the front gates. Luckily, she doesn't think too much about it. At the first study session, Erika excuses herself to the bathroom and comes back literally dressed as Cupid, but her efforts fail anyways. While they're arguing, Hiro makes a comment saying they look good together, and she wishes she's as close to Erika-chan as well. To compensate, she invites herself after school to go to Erika's house. The two then panic and Nagi has to tell Erika to take Hiro to her original mansion, only for Erika and Hiro to arrive at the house unannounced as her mansion is being remodeled. He then attempts to hide all his belongings so it doesn't seem like anyone else has lived at the house. Unfortunately, the obsessive fans Nagi beat up when he first met Erika has found the house and breaks into the garden, forcing Nagi to leave his room to beat them up again. Right before Hiro leaves, she notices Nagi's shrine book and asks why it's here. Erika somehow makes her believe that she accidentally borrowed the wrong book. The next day, Hiro invites her to her home to study, revealing her family manages the local shrine where Nagi is able to collect another shrine stamp. They then meet Hiro's mother, who is less than happy at Nagi's presence. While Erika is away, Hiro explains that when she said she was engaged, she actually meant one day she will inherit the shrine, but phrased it in a way to sound like she had a fiancé to deter Nagi from pursuing her. She suspected that he would probably give up his future plans to run the shrine with her, and she didn't want to place that burden on him.
The story continues when Nagi decides he can run the shrine to be in a relationship with Hiro. However, a field trip to Kamakura approaches, and while Erika refuses to go, she manipulates Nagi into going by helping him form a group with Hiro. She insists their group project be a contest to collect the most shrine stamps. But when asking about her answer to his confession, Hiro admits her parents are forcing her to inherit the shrine, which she doesn't want, and wants Nagi to change her fate. Erika then reveals one of her fans from class, named Shion, has forced his way into Nagi's group. Having mistakenly assumed Erika would be in the same group, Erika agrees to go to prevent him from bothering Nagi and Hiro. Shion then turns out to be an annoying superfan, but actually does help Erika take excellent photos. Meanwhile, Nagi watches them constantly, so much so that he forgets to spend time with Hiro, who goes stamp collecting alone. Nagi then decides to help Erika take another photo, but they argue over it so much that they accidentally take another perfect couple photo. Luckily, it ends up being Erika's favorite. He then asks about the mystery person Erika has been searching for, but she warns him knowing who the person is would change his future. The next day, Erika runs errands, and while she's away, Sachi visits. Based on his attitude, she accuses Nagi of fighting with Erika until he admits his dilemma, where he decides he'll ask Erika who she's looking for. At the same time, Sachi decides to live with Nagi and Erika. Claiming the rented room she shares with their parents makes studying difficult. As Nagi attempts to be strict with her, he gets no support from Erika, who's glad to see Sachi. Once alone, Erika asks Sachi's real motive, and Sachi admits since Erika appeared, she's been scared that they would marry and she'll never see him again. Overhearing this, Nagi decides to let her stay, but immediately regrets it as Sachi takes his room. Forced to go shopping for Sachi's essentials, Nagi realizes Sachi is popular with people. Erika then insists on taking new family photographs including Sachi and moves her into her bedroom, learning Sachi talks in her sleep. Later, Nagi finally talks to Erika and admits that he's not yet ready for his future to change, but once he's ready, he'd like to know who she's searching for. She's then amused due to what he's been worrying about, but agrees to tell him once he is ready. The next day, Hiro asks Nagi on a date to an amusement park, but he's disappointed when she admits that she needed him for the two-person discount. She apologizes for having left him during the trip to Kamakura as she had gotten lost. While exploring a mirror maze, Nagi believes he accidentally kissed Hiro, which amuses her as he actually kissed a mirror instead. Meanwhile, Sachi is in a foul mood as she claims her mood is caused by Nagi being on a date, despite being Erika's fiancé. She then takes Erika to a baseball center and then to a public bath, where Erika admits she's glad Sachi is her sister, but Sachi is still upset everything is changing. Returning from his date, Sachi makes sure to torment Nagi over it. Meanwhile, Erika decides to invite her mother to the bathhouse. In the middle of the night, Nagi and Sachi's father, Yoei, appears to take them all fishing, something Nagi despises due to seasickness, as he wants to spend time with all his children. Remembering that Yoei said he would stop taking him fishing if he caught a bigger fish than him, Nagi becomes super serious about fishing, but still only catches the smallest fish. By the end of the trip, Nagi realizes Yoei only ever dragged him fishing when he was stressed, helping Nagi take his mind off the problem, so he thanks Yoei for his help. Erika then wonders what kind of person she might have become had she been raised by her biological family. On Mother's Day, Erika spends time with her mother, Ritsuko. Sachi then decides to get their mother, Nami, a gift and seeks Nagi's help. Eventually, they decide on an apron she can wear in the restaurant. Nagi pats Sachi's head for thinking of the idea, which annoys her that he's treating her like a little sister. They then deliver the apron but leave without being seen. Erika tells Ritsuko she sometimes thinks Nagi might be better marrying Sachi. Oh, stepsis. The next day, Erika receives a text from her father, Soichiro, and immediately drags Nagi out shopping, eventually revealing Soichiro asked to visit, so she's avoiding him in case he wants to take her home. Soichiro then arrives and finds only Sachi, so he takes her to dinner in exchange for telling him about Erika and Nagi. Erika decides to confront Soichiro, but Nagi instead chooses to help her continue avoiding him. Sachi admits that even though Erika and Nagi argue constantly, they are closer friends because of it. So Akira offers to continue bribing Sachi with sweets in exchange for updates on the two, which she accepts. He then returns to his office, where he ponders the child-rearing practices of cuckoo birds and reveals a picture of himself, Ritsuko, Erika, and a boy that looks like Nagi. Eventually, Sachi returns to working at their parents' diner, but still refuses to move back home. Randomly, lightning knocks out the city's power, leaving Nagi and Erika in the dark. She then asks if Nagi enjoys living with her, since she has enjoyed every day since meeting Nagi and Sachi. He admits he has enjoyed himself too. In the dark, Nagi bumps into Erika and kisses her, only for the lights to come back on to reveal he actually kissed stepsis Sachi, who had just gotten home. She's then embarrassed, but becomes angry when Nagi points out that he thought she was Erika, and should just forget the kiss. The next day, Sachi treats Nagi coldly, but when her friends at school discuss a TV show that includes siblings falling in love, she starts to wonder if she loves Nagi. Erika then notices the tense atmosphere, and when Nagi explains about the accidental kiss, points out just how much he screwed up. He might consider Sachi his little sister, but Sachi is almost a grown woman, and not even his blood relative. He's then unsure how to apologize, but after a pep talk from Hiro, he manages to apologize to Sachi and promises to stop thinking of her as a child, but as a woman. She forgives him and begins acting much happier. Later, Erika asks Nagi to take her shopping, but he refuses, claiming he has plans. He invites Hiro to study to make up for embarrassing himself at the amusement park. As the public library has a no-talking policy, they are forced to communicate through notes, though this ends up being more intimate. Hiro then invites Nagi to a kickboxing gym. However, Erika sees them sparring and becomes upset. The next day, Erika demands Nagi take her on a date. After forcing him to go jogging, she explains that she thought he enjoyed exercise since he went kickboxing. Since Erika has never experienced jealousy before, Nagi has to explain that jealousy means she must like him. This infuriates her, so she blurts out she doesn't like him, yet then runs away. The yet confuses Nagi, and he starts to wonder if maybe he likes Erika. Later, he visits his parents' restaurant where by chance, he discovers embarrassing love letters Yoei wrote to Nami in high school. Yoei claims love causes people to do embarrassing things, but if it's true love, then it's worth it. He then doubts he could do it, so Yoei demands he just feel who's in his heart. Nagi does so, and becomes even more confused when he feels Erika and Hiro and Sachi all have equal places in his heart. Afterwards, Erika later receives a text from Nagi stating he also doesn't like her yet. Nagi is so distracted by his feelings that during exams, not only does Hiro retake first place, he falls to 13th in the exam rankings. Hiro appears upset by this, which makes Nagi feel even worse. However, Erika doesn't see a problem until Sachi reminds her that he has never once fallen below second place, let alone 13th. Nagi blames his overconfidence at having beaten Hiro once, plus barely studying, since he started having fun with Erika. She manages to argue with him into feeling better. The next day, Hiro is unexpectedly late to their morning study session, but when she does arrive and hears Nagi and Erika arguing like usual, she decides to leave and becomes even more distant from Nagi. He's then depressed until he receives a sudden summons from Hiro to meet her. Erika is convinced Hiro has given up on Nagi after his disastrous exam results and is probably going to permanently reject him. However, Hiro is unconcerned with his grades and is more upset that it was Erika who made him feel better, not her, his academic rival. Realizing he still loves Hiro and she still cares for him, Nagi begins studying properly again. Erika then asks for his help to fix her own terrible grades, revealing if she fails any of her next exams, her parents will force her to move back home with them. When after 3 hours of Erika not being able to answer a single question, she resigns herself to moving out, Nagi is disappointed, as he and Sachi will have to move back home to their parents' cramped flat. Later, he realizes Erika has been studying by herself all night, and Sachi demands that rather than half-heartedly teaching while doing his own studying, he should teach her properly. Realizing he hasn't been of any actual help, Nagi bursts into Erika's room and announces he will teach her the most basic technique to pass exams by memorizing typical exam questions. After a weekend of intense studying, Erika gets a passing grade, so Akira was happy his plan to manipulate Erika worked. Later, Sachi invites Erika to a festival near their parents' diner, though she and Nagi are expected to help run their parents' yakisoba stall. She is then intensely embarrassed when a customer thinks she and Nagi are a couple. Hiro then appears and asks Nagi to visit the rest of the festival once he's done working. However, Sachi is irritated he won't be going with her and Erika. Later, Hiro meets Erika and Sachi together, but is confused how Sachi is somehow both Erika and Nagi's sister.